Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Helmet Head YouTube channel. Before, arguably, the sexiest man to walk on this planet makes his appearance, let's look back at this truly epic adventure. Pour yourself a drink, sit back, and enjoy this moment.
Feel it in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough to make something right, and make up for what I've lost. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. Things turn around, didn't ever think they could. I'm done with the bad, I need a little bit of good. Settled in the world, like everything is new. Stepped on a path, that led me straight to you. I was down, but things are looking up. By surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should.
Wow, what a man. At last the moment has come. I would like to introduce Lord Helmet Head.
Hello everybody, how are we all doing? And welcome to my live stream. And of course this is to talk about leg one of the great world adventure, taking Ashworth, my Honda monkey bike, and of course talking through leg two and leg three that I've kind of planned. It's quite exciting. Now, just for I talk about a little bit of a sort of a recap of leg one, and obviously jump into answering the questions, a couple of things. First of all, I've got the super chat shot game right there. There's 18 shots there. Now, if anybody does a super chat or a super sticker, then I will, of course, give them a salute and I will down one of them. I'm hoping not to get through all of 18 of them. So I've got a feeling I'll be quite drunk, and it's the kind of stuff that you drink when you're like 20 years old or even 18 and in the pub and down. And then if I run out of them, I've also got some brandy that I do definitely 100% do not want to touch, because that will make me feel proper ropey. Now, when it comes down to the questions, can I please ask people to put, hopefully in bold capitals, question, and then actually put the question itself, so I can flip through, because when I did this last time, I had to kind of try to keep up with as much as possible of the live chat as I can, and I was scrolling up and down, because the one thing this software does, it jumps to the live comments right where they are at that time, so I have to scroll back to find all of the different questions. So I really appreciate that. But just before we do, I just wanted to recap on sort of leg one of the adventure. Now, right back in the beginning, picking up Ashworth, of course, from Ashworth Automotive down in Weston-super-Mare was absolutely a magical, fantastic moment. Getting to see the bike for the first time, getting to ride with all the people that came down and spent some time with me was absolutely incredible. Hang on, I just want to say thanks everybody, by the way, for being here. I do appreciate it. And so obviously picking it up, and then of course we set off on Ashworth, where I set off from Desborough in the Midlands, basically middle-ish of the UK, and headed down where we got onto the Channel Tunnel. I think I've called it right. I always call it the Euro Tunnel, the Channel Tunnel, and obviously crossed over. Now, France, for me, was obviously very much a mile-munching sort of part of the journey, because I've obviously done France before, and I wanted to get across France to get to my end destination. Because the way I'm doing this adventure is I'm trying to do it in such a way that it's self-funded as much as possible, and not just that. I want to do it like everyone else could do it, because I know for a lot of people to travel the world, the one thing that they do is they give up their entire lives. They give up their jobs, they sell their house, they do all of that. They get on a bike and they head off for months and months and months, and they do this amazing world trip, and it is fantastic. I know that's how some people can do it, but for me, like many other people, I have an amazing family, I have a house, I have a really good job, and I don't want to lose any of those things. I want to be able to achieve this leg by leg. So what I'm obviously doing is that I am riding a sort of country or part of the country at a time. I'm trying to do that in a roughly sort of between 5 to 7 days at a time. Sometimes it'll be up to 2 weeks to cover each country. Then I'm going to be flying home and flying back. I'm trying not to overplan the legs, because obviously each leg takes a lot of planning and a lot of time, an incredible amount of time. So I'm trying to plan between 1 to 2 legs in advance. So I've already planned leg 2 and I've already planned leg 3. I've got an idea what I want to do for leg 4, but I obviously haven't, as of yet, kind of planned that, because it's so far in the future, because I'm taking about sort of 5 to 6 weeks in between each leg to come back, work my butt off, and try and raise them enough money that I need to do the next leg. So just to summarize, that's how it's working. Anyway, going back to leg 1. So obviously I got off the Euro Tunnel, but when I got there originally, I was massively surprised to obviously, and you would have seen it in the videos itself, to have met Paul. And one of the fun things I love about this channel and everybody that gets involved is that everyone's always welcome. And Paul did exactly that. He came along and sort of rode with me and looked after me for sort of 2.5 days. And we had an absolute giggle. Honestly, we were having quite a few beers at night, chatting about life. And on the road, he was very much like me. He was just like, I'm just following you. I'm just going to do whatever you do. And we would just winged it, as I would 100% do, by putting waypoints in the map. And then one of the sort of things that made me laugh the most during that sort of that first leg was when I ran out of fuel. And when I went to undo the fuel can, because obviously it'd been done up, Lee had done it up. And if you've seen any of the previous videos, Lee is also known as Nightcrawler666. On YouTube, he's the owner of Ashworth Automotive that have built the bike. So when Lee did that up, he tightened it up super tight. He gives the best man hugs in the world. When I first met him, and again, it's on previous videos, he gave me such a strong man hug. I was like, oh, so strong. Well, he did it up with Superman strength, basically, and I couldn't get that off. And what's not really shown on camera is how much I actually struggled to. And in the end, it was Paul using the power of Grayskull that managed to undo it. But I think I gave the best example of how not to pour out of a can fuel into your bike, because I kind of leaked a bit on the floor. But that was one of the things I'll never forget about trying to do this professional video and just pouring fuel all over the place. And then, of course, as the adventure continued, I was gutted I didn't get any wine in Bordeaux itself. There was a lot of toll roads and sort of basically they're like auto routes, and there are version in the UK of motorways. But I had to get across France within a certain amount of days, and I knew if I'd come off, I'd end up taking loads and loads of time off. But I was good I didn't get any wine in Bordeaux. I generally, because I got took off on a diversion, I didn't go the way I actually really wanted to go. So I went past all those vineyards, and there was loads of them. And I was there going, like, I'm going to get myself some wine. I'm going to get myself some wine. And I never did. And I was absolutely gutted by that, because that would have been great on the video to have gone and experienced it. And there was a suggestion actually from Senior Lord Head that I took some time, sort of time off almost, and went and enjoyed some wine tasting and stuff. But I just haven't got that, unfortunately. So that didn't happen. But of course, the French stick, buying the bottle of wine in the end that I gave sort of obviously to my like stepmom, because obviously I wanted to get her a bottle of wine, but to stop and get the bread and do the proper French traditional thing of, you know, waving the French stick in the air, shouting lots of things, and doing some kind of weird parade in a field was obviously very important. So I feel like I've done the traditional French thing now. Then, of course, eventually arriving at Senior Lord's Head, that's in the Pyrenees in France, and being able to deliver his birthday present that was months old, that was a watch. And also having a brandy with him and spending, you get a lot of time, to be fair, but getting to spend a little bit of time with him was absolutely incredible as well. And then, of course, leaving Ashworth behind and having to pack Ashworth away was actually really difficult, because I've never, when I had to leave the what I used to call like the Honda Monkey Bike, the 11 out of 10 before it became Ashworth, even with Lee originally, was kind of a hard deal. And now leaving there for such a long time. And I think it's nearly 4 weeks since I set off, or 3 and a bit weeks, whatever it was. And not having it here has been actually quite difficult, because the one bike I want to get on and ride is Ashworth, because it struck a chord. It's so improved, it's really struck a chord. So when I left it behind and I closed the garage door, I generally was quite emotional. I still am, and I'm still missing it, and I can't wait to get back. And that's basically sums up kind of leg one. It was a big mile muncher. We managed to achieve lots. I got to hang out with a really cool guy called Paul. Obviously, like I said, we had a laugh on the way. I hacked down a lot of miles. I got lost in the forest. I got to live this stuff. And I'm really proud of that. And I can't wait to start leg two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the questions, and hopefully I'll be able to keep up with everything. I want to apologise in advance, like I always do. I do have severe dyslexia. I do have a speech impediment. I have mentioned this many times before. So if I read somebody's name wrong or I say something wrong, I'm sorry, it's me. I can't change who I am. I am rubbish at stuff like that. But here we go. Let's jump into it now. On this software, I can click on it. So let's just go right to the top. Let me scroll down. And hi, everybody, because I've only just put the comments on as well. Wow. Hello. Have we got any questions as of yet popped up? Scrolling through, I just see G Rossi saying sexy voice. Hopefully he's talking about me, you know, because it's clearly sexy, Lord, and skinny and muscly and everything else. Question, here we go. First question of the day. Question, what do you do for a living, Lord Alan? Well, if you've read the recent MCN article, it actually says in there, and I've always tried to keep it a little bit of a secret, to be honest, but I am a train driver, and that's what I do for a living. So I'm not going to say who I work for, but if you ever look at the front of the cab of a train, one day you might see me sat there staring out, looking all professional. I actually do look professional when I drive trains. At least that's what I tell myself every single day. I am currently off track. There was something that actually happened, an incident that made me sort of have to be off track for a while, but I am back. What's really good, because I've actually, the whole point of taking the time back is to be able to earn enough money and do a load of extra shifts and stuff to pay for this next adventure. And unfortunately, that's not happened. So I'm looking forward to getting back, and I'll be back 100% next week. It'll be fantastic. So yeah, I am a train driver, choo-choo, train, and all that stuff. So hopefully one day you'll spot me going along, or you can get on my train, and if the PIS, what does the information system doesn't work, you'll hear my voice come over and you'll go, that rings a bell. And then it'll be really weird. You'll be going, is he doing an 11 out of 10 drive? Anyway, let's keep going. Question, here we go. How much do you think the first leg cost? That's difficult to a degree, because obviously being a lord, as we all know, I didn't pay for tolls. And if anyone's asked me about being a lord, I'm more than happy to tell them about it, because I've recently been asked quite a few comments asking me how I'm a lord, and they don't get it and all this stuff. But anyway, so the first leg, I think, in reality, now obviously I didn't camp. I'm not a camper. I don't enjoy camping. I will if I have to, because I've got to do it on something coming up. But so anyway, the first leg, I think it was 6 days. I would say potentially with fuel, meals, and decent hotel rooms, when I got the decent ones, I'd probably say around £150 a day for everything in. And I'd say max side of £150 a day, and obviously some less and some more. So figure it out. But 6 days, every day about 150 quid. Right, let's keep going. Biker Buddy. I like Biker Buddy. Hello, mate. Right, what else have we got? So we've got. This is cool. This is cool. So this is the first super chat. What means I'm about to download one of those drinks behind me that I already know is going to be horrible. But great achievement so far. I got my Road Skin jeans. Shame they don't do any pants. Do you know what? Road Skin jeans, on a serious basis, if you want 10% off, and I'm sorry if you've ordered these beforehand, but if you want 10% off Road Skin jeans, there's a link, not in this video, but in my normal videos. Click on that link, it'll take you to their website. Anything you order at all from there, you'll get 10% off by putting Helmet Head in capitals. It's all down in the normal video descriptions to save people some money, because generally they are by far the best jeans. I have not stopped wearing them, full stop, and I can't see me stop wearing them in the future. And they're not paying me to say that in any way whatsoever. They don't sponsor the videos or any of that stuff. They are generally really, really good jeans. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy the first one. So I'm going to go for the one that looks like we to begin with, because it's the closest. Here we go. I think these have got names on them. No, this one hasn't. Well, basically, you've got Alabama, Slammer, and B52. I can't remember which one's what, to be fair. None of them look like a B52 to me. This looks like an old man that's got problems. But anyway, so thanks, Ben. And this is to you, buddy. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And obviously, this is going to help towards my venture. So cheers, mate. That's I don't know what that tastes like. A little bit left, so I'm gonna waste any. Oh, that's I don't know. I don't even know how to explain what that one tastes like. It's got, I don't know, like a B52, because it says it's B52. I'm sure one of them was B52. If anyone's ever had a B52, but my version of B52 is when they put like is it Bailey's and cognac or something, and they do something with lighting it on the top. This is how I always had B52s in a really cool bar in a local town to me called Mike Arborough. And I used to stick the straw in with it lit and hope the straw didn't melt and try to down the shot. And again, this was in my youth. It kind of does taste like that. So cheers, dude. I appreciate that. Wash that taste away. Okay, so next up, question. I know you were not able to get a bottle of wine at the winery in Bordeaux on the first leg, but will you get a bottle of port in Porto when you do Portugal? Yes, I will. And there's a really good reason for that, because what's going to happen next, leg 2, I'm obviously going to be heading out from my dad's in the Pyrenees. Episode 1 is going to be epic. I'm going to be aiming to go over the mountains, and then I'm going to be aiming to go to I'm pretty sure it's the North Spanish and sort of coastline, and try to follow. I say this in a weird. I want to keep as much off as main roads as possible this time, because for me this is when the trip's going to get really sort of more epic, more exciting. But basically, follow that shot's getting to me. Follow the north coastline, and then I want to get to a certain point, and I just want to drop straight down, because for where I'm going to store the bike first is a touring company called Pink My Bike. And I want to get to them, and they've actually promised me a Lord's welcome, so I'm dead excited about that. I will tell you more about leg 3 as well, but leg 2 is that. So over the mountain, coastline, along the Spanish North Coast as much as possible, taking as much cool stuff as I can, even detouring off if I have to, and then trying to drop straight down there into Portugal. But to answer that question, because I'm going off of it really, I will, because part of leg 3 will include me going to the vineyards where they create it, at least to a very popular town. But I'll explain more as I go into leg 3. So yes, I will be buying a bottle, but I will be drinking it there, or at least a small bottle, or sharing it with loads of other people. Right, next one. Oh, hello, the questions have just jumped for me. Massive, this is so cool. That's so Ben, who gave me the super chat, that's his dad, and he's just saying he's glad to see that he got up because he obviously had a heavy night last night himself. Naughty, but good on you, mate. So this hasn't got a question on, but this is a question, so I'm going to put it on there. Twist and Go, you would have seen him. He's got his own YouTube channel. Awesome guy. He brought me socks. So he holds a special part in my sock drawer now, and I've always got my pants on. And those socks I've worn many a times. And I did the UK, around the UK trip. So Twist and Go, is Ashworth quicker than as fast as a red? Well, I've already proved it was faster than a red. Is it a black? No, it's blue. Blue and red already. I don't know now it's been modified, to be honest, because it's back to pretty much standard other than the air filter. But there is one way to find out, and that would be for you to ride your bike all the way to Spain or wherever I am at that time, or Italy, wherever I get to, and racing me. And there's the challenge for you. Your channel, come hunting for Helmet Head to beat him would be awesome. Right, let's move on to that. This is cool. Fellow monkey bike owner from Canada. Awesome. Will I get a chance before? Because I've just seen there's another super sticker. Means I'm going to have another shot. Means I'm going to get more and more tipsy. Just while I remember a couple of things as well. During the adventure of leg 1, I want to say a massive thank you to how many people obviously watched the videos, liked and shared them. Also, I was really taken back by how many people sent me PayPal sort of money to help me along my trip. That has massively helped. And also I had 4 lots of flights to book. It's really helped with that. And even today, a guy called Stephen Jones, I hope I've got that right, has sent us a message and asked if he can help towards it. Well, of course you can, because it really helps me out. And he's just sent us 20 quid as well. So I just want to say a massive thank you to people that have generally helped keep that bike going and keep the legs going as well. Because I never asked for a second for anyone to help, and people doing it. And I know I shouldn't be so shocked and surprised, because people are awesome, but it's just thank you. It's just honestly massively thank you, because I wasn't expecting any of that. And you're trying to self-fund this. I'm making lots of life choices at the minute to make sure I've got the money, because I knew it was going to cost money, and with a few things that's happened I haven't got that, but I'm getting it, if that makes sense. And I am making choices, and including selling the Harley is part of one of those choices. And I've actually put one of my actual car, my electric car that I worked really hard for, that's actually up for sale as well, because I'm not just to fund the trip, but I need to create more income coming into the account to do what I want to do, because I'm determined to do the entire world, and I'm going to do it. It's going to be really cool. Anyway, this is awesome as well. So I want to say, yeah, a massive thank you to Abigail, Bovenzi and Super Sticker. I can't see the sticker because it's on this. I don't know what you've put. So you could have put like any random thing. Whatever it is, thank you very much. I'm going to pick the next one, that is the red one, that I don't know which one this is either. I'll tell you what it tastes like. Just look, it's got the weird, like, and it's sticky. How can it be sticky with it's not even been opened yet? The one thing last time, and I'm sure the time before that, the more drunk I got, I start saying some things I shouldn't probably say, and so I apologise if I upset anyone else on YouTube, because I tend to upset a few other YouTubers when people ask me questions about things. So I want to apologise. But anyway, Yakidar, thank you very much. Yakidar's cheers in Welsh, in case you didn't know. Just doesn't, just tastes of, I don't know what it tastes of again. It just tastes of alcohol. It doesn't have maybe a bit of strawberry. Anyway, thank you very, very much. I do appreciate that. I'm going to get rid of the taste for this beer, but yeah. That is awesome. Thank you very much. Right, next up. So, Monkey Dick's Adventures. Monkey Dick's has a monkey bike. He started YouTube. He said one of his videos partly from watching me and obviously watching some other awesome YouTubers. He has come so far, and he's recently gone and done the Dragon Rally where his friend made a trailer on the back of his bike. Please go and check that out because you will have a giggle watching it. And riding with the trailer on, dude, that's that. I mean, you were saying you don't know it's there, so obviously the guy who's done it knows what he's doing. But it looks awesome, and I bet it looks as bonkers as mine. Cause even more bonkers. It's got a massive thing on the back. Hopefully, one day me and Monkey Dicks will actually get to meet and enjoy a pint together, and hopefully that will happen sometime soon. Anyway, as you're further afield, where will you leave the bike? Okay, so obviously, at the moment, it's stored at my dad's place. Leg 2 is being stored at Pink My Bike, as I've already mentioned. And at the end of leg 3, because I'm going to be doing a massive tour with Pink My Bike that is like a tour of dreams, they've basically come up with an entire plan, like an entire set helmet head adventure. And they've done, I'm going to burp, I apologise, that shot. They've done an incredible tour, and it's going to be the best filming and some of the best stuff I've ever done. And it takes all the stress of riding and stuff away. But when I get back to them, they're going to store it as well. I want to then hopefully find somebody in Gibraltar that will be willing to store my bike and ride through Portugal right down the bottom of Spain, so I can then get over into Africa afterwards and potentially come back and store it there. But I haven't got anybody yet. I've not reached out to the audience side of things, if anybody knows me in Gibraltar, because it feels like a long way away, like I said earlier. So I'm hoping Gibraltar. I've already got 3 different offers in Alicante as well. And then maybe from there, even going to Italy. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not playing too much in, but that's so far as I've got. So basically store it with people that watch the channel is my biggest plan throughout the entire world. And if I can't find anybody to store it, I will then try and contact some garages or tour companies and see if I can even pay them to store the bike. That's my plan. If I ever get stuck, worst case ever, if I get stuck, I will have to pay to have the bike shipped home or flown home or transported. And then I'll have to come up with a plan B. But I'm hoping with all the goodwill and how amazing people are, the whole world trip we can do together. And there'll be people that are willing to help me everywhere. That's what I'm hoping. I have had offers all around the world, but I keep having to say the same thing. I can't plan that far ahead. So yeah, hope that answered your question. Right, what are we up to next? I've already answered that question. So, what bike are you thinking about getting next? So, I said earlier, I'm selling a Harley currently because I need to basically free up some money and raise some funds. But I've got the Patreon meet coming up in a few months' time. So I'm aiming to get another bike then. It's just in sort of a slight gap of not having one in the UK. That's going to be really difficult because even now it's like I want to jump on a bike and I want to ride it. But it's choices. I've got to make choices unless I can find a whole load of money out of nowhere. Choices. But what bike I want to replace it with. Now, this is a difficult one because my heart and soul really wants me to go down the point of saying, like, I love Triumph. I love the British brand. I had a Bonneville before. I'd actually quite like to get another Bonneville or a Speedmaster. On those lines, I love the classic style bikes. Really, Bonneville, T100 even would be really awesome. Or the Scrambler would be really cool. But what I need, this is the thing about what I need, because of the commitments I've got going on with the channel, because behind a lot of the scenes, there's stuff being planned with meetings and seeing people. And I've even got a review coming up, hopefully, with Harley and stuff like that. I need a bit of a workhorse. I need something that's going to be able to hack down massive miles, be able to put all my kit in, all my camera stuff in, and be able to get there without feeling knackered, fatigued. And you watching a poll recently, and I would love to get, and I can't believe I'm saying it because it knocked my confidence of all bikes, a BMW GS, and hopefully the 1200 or the 1250, because I had a 1200, I think, back in 2005, and I found it too heavy and it knocked my confidence. And it's obviously a long time ago, and I'm like, no, I can proper master that bike. I've come a long way even since back then. And I'd love to get one to conquer it, to be honest, and try and do some off-roady stuff on it here. But what I like about it is it's a massive mile muncher, and it's basically good, isn't it? It's good at what it does. The other one is potentially a Honda Africa Twin. I really like the look of them as well. So between those two, in regards to what I need for the channel, because I need something that can get me some big miles, be comfortable, and be basically a workhorse. So that hopefully answers that. I've had loads of money. My garage would be just full of loads and loads and loads of bikes. Right, what are we up to next? Remember to put question on it, because if you're asking me a question, because otherwise I'm going to be skipping past, because there is loads of comments. Because I know people asking me questions without the question. What makes it like I'm flipping going, don't I? Anyway, here we go. Question. Obviously, I was referring to your better half's voice, buddy. Are you going to enable special emojis to difference between us patrons and peasants? As far as I'm aware, with the emojis, that you can only do for channel members. So the whole channel member side of things and patron's completely different to YouTube, a whole different platform altogether. So what I try to, because I've had Patreon for a lot longer, Patreon is where I put the videos up first. Hopefully, as you well know, within like, it could be an hour before, it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a month. So you guys get to enjoy that first. And the channel members is like a tip jar. And it's a great way to support the channel just by going, I just want to give you a tip. It's literally a couple of quid on there as well, or a £5. And then you get a little star by your name as well. And it's like another way of supporting the channel. So I can't, unfortunately, I can't have both doing the same thing, if that makes sense. So Patreon is very much that. And then obviously, like channel members get the little star, little emojis. I see I've got some super chats. So I'm going to remember Ross's, and I'm going to skip down, because they're on a timer as well, and I don't want to miss them. So let me do this one first. I will be waiting for you in Portugal for the Port Wine Vineyards tour. All the best from Pink My Bike. These are the dudes. So this gives me a incredible opportunity as well. And the reason why, because I want to talk about leg free, but I'm going to drink this first. And then, so there, I'll tell you about Pink Monkey, and I'll put the other one up as well. So I'll do one, and then I'll put the other one up, because this is quite cool, and I'm dead excited by this, and I'll explain one in a minute. But cheers, dude. This is the blue one, isn't it? I've not had the blue yet. What will this taste like? Just like alcohol, or be something else? That tastes like the red one. No, it tastes like, you know, oh, it makes me want to burp. Ice poles. It tastes like the blue ice pole, basically. So Pink My Bike. Let me just quickly talk about them, and then put the other one up on the screen as well. So with Pink My Bike, they're basically talking to me. That's two brothers. I hope I get this right, and apologise if I get it wrong. And they do, like, if you ever click on their website, you'll see stuff. So they do awesome, basically pink monkey bike hire. They've got 4 of them, and you can go and you can do a tour. And I think it's either 2 or 4 days. And they can do a set tour where you literally can fly in with your rucksack on your back. You can hire the bike, and you can go off and do this tour. And they provide you with your helmet, anything you need, your gloves. It's got they've got the latest Senna communication. So if you're a group, you can all chat away. And it just, when I say they take care of everything, they take care of everything. Now, I was extremely lucky, because these 2 brothers reached out to me to say they can help me out, store my bike, and they'd like to tour me around. All out of the goodness of their hearts, and that they'll look after the bike, do maintenance. And then I'm sure one of them even said, when I was like going, oh, do you know, hopefully I can get some tours sorted out for you and stuff, they were like going, oh, hospitality, the Portuguese, you don't know, we'll look after you and everything else. And it's absolutely incredible. Now, the thing of it is it was my suggestion about doing the whole tour side of things, but I was like going, what would be really cool is if I can get a few people that I get on, you know, as in to do involved in the challenge, stuff like this. If we can get together and we can do a tour, and then we can use their 4 pink monkey bikes, and I'll ride my bike, and it'll be an incredible series. And they're offered to tour me, so it's like, we'll tour around. So what they did is they put an incredible package, and you'll see all this unfold. And I'm probably going to get all this in the wrong order, but they're again going out of their way to do something incredible. They're going to bring my bike and their bikes, and they're going to basically bring them all the way to an airport we're going to fly into. We're going to set off on a tour. We're going to have a traditional Portuguese lunch, and that's going on the coastline. We're going to then head off into the hills. Every day involves another awesome thing. I'm not going to let too much more go, but part of it will include going, like I've said, to go and hopefully sample some port and go through all these vineyards. Some of it involves some off-roading, some really special. I don't want to let too much go, so I don't want to spoil any of the episodes. But there's like cave paintings, and so it's got the whole thing. What they've done is they have made an 11 out of 10 tour. That I generally think France is good. I think Spain's going to be really good. It's going to be like another step. I think I'm going to struggle after when we do step 3. It's going to be like up here with awesomeness and filming. I think I'm going to struggle to beat it afterwards. I think it's going to be that great a tour. I really do. Now, I've got coming with me. So all 4 bikes have been sold out. All 4 of the people that come in have booked their flights. They've paid and booked their first hotel. And the people that come in. So I mentioned about watching Nightcrawler 666. Lee, if you watch his channel, Lee's coming. Wookie's coming. Wookie's the guy that sent me a whole crate of wine. He's a really tall, big dude, and he's just awesome, and he makes me laugh. And he's coming like as well. So I'm gonna have the best man hug. I'm gonna have Wookie selecting some awesome bottles of wine, and also Alex. And if you've seen Alex is part of their entire club side of things. Alex is also another really cool guy. He rode a Harley basically for months in Europe on a series that's on Lee's channel. He's coming as well. And then the last space. Now, I got messed around a bit with the last space. I put it out on social media. I got an incredible amount of emails, people asking about it. But the person that shocked me, that came along and said, I'm booking it, I want to come. And I was like, really? Is Senior Lord Head, my dad. And my dad, he's going to hate me for saying this, but he's like, I'm going to get his age wrong now when I say this. I'm going to say 70, so I don't get it wrong. I think he's 74. I'm sure he's 74. But anyway, I'll say he's 70 years old. And he was like, I really want to do it. And I literally met him for a coffee. We're chatting. I was showing all the stuff that these guys have got planned for us. And he was like, that's incredible. Like, that's like an adventure dreams. And I was like going, I know. And he goes, I want to come. I was like, really? I was quite shocked because it's like my dad's kind of like retired, you know, and obviously he's chilled out in France and stuff like this. And he's not ridden for a little while. And he's like, no, I really want to come. And he made me laugh because he goes, well, I'll get some practice in beforehand because your bike's in my garage. He goes, I've still got my bike kit. And he's like, I'm going to get on your bike and go for a spin. I'm going, oh, no, not Ashworth, no. But it's my dad. And my dad always told me what to do and looked after me. Actually, I probably didn't think my dad told me to, but he always looked after me. And I know he'll look after Ashworth. And I know if he breaks it, he'll pay for it. But he won't. It's all going to be good. So he'll get some rides on that. And then we'll get to do this tour. And Leg 3, honestly, what's coming up is absolutely awesome. Right, I'm going to have another shot, haven't I? Yeah, I'm going to have another shot. Another that. And then I'm going to skip back to some of the other questions. So, Yakidar, cheers. I do massively appreciate it. And I can't wait to hang out with both of you boys at Pink, my boy. I can't wait. I generally think it's going to be one of the best lot of the entire world trip. I think it's going to be that good in Portugal. So cheers, boys. Plus, also, when I get to the end of leg 2, I'm going to meet the boys and have some drinks. So we're going to have a laugh before then as well. Right, let me skip back. I was at... Right, there I was. Road skin are based in Tunbridge, Wales. Question. So, why are you selling the Harley? Dream bike if you could get anything. Well, I kind of already answered that. I'm having to sell the Harley because literally I need to free up some money. I need to pay a couple of things off as well because, like I said, I have used my credit card quite a bit and stuff. I would keep Harley. I would 100% keep Harley. That is an unbelievable bike. It's a one-trick pony in regards to it just makes you smile and it's absolutely noisy and it's just you just feel badass and cool. I would love to keep it. I just can't. And I know whoever buys it is going to have the biggest smiles ever. So, yeah, I'd love to keep it. I just can't. Like I said, dream bike side of things. I still would love a Speedmaster, 1200 Speedmaster. I know Lee will be going, oh, it's rubbish because he said it's like, it's not as good as this, it's not as good as that. But it's just something about a bike that makes me smile. And like I said before, I'd love a scrambler. I really would love a scrambler. I think they just look so sexy. Triumph Scrambler, and probably, to be fair, the 900. I like the 12, but I think the 900 is that little bit more manageable. And I think with some decent sort of mid tyres on, you could put that through some paces, like potentially take it to, say, like the Strata Florida, and take it through. And I think it would survive. But I have contacts at Triumph, and I have suggested that they should lend me a 1200. And also I've suggested they lend me the Tiger, and I put both of them through their tests. Interestingly, they said that their insurance wouldn't probably cover it, surprisingly, and they were going to lend me another bike. But unfortunately, none of that's happened, because in the world of press at the minute, they all seem to be going towards Instagrammers. They'd rather have somebody pretty on a bike for a photo than have a YouTuber actually put it through its paces. What I find really odd at the minute, and I'm sure lots of other people on YouTube are experiencing the same thing. I'm not saying I probably burnt some bridges by saying that, but there's quite a few of them that have, made lots of promises, but then they seem to be giving them out big time to Instagrammers. And there's some big YouTubers that you've probably seen, a lot bigger than I am, doing reviews on bikes, and they seem to have gone very quiet and now trying to push themselves towards adventures. And I think that's the reason why. But I don't know if anyone would want to admit it, because basically they're going for younger, prettier people for pictures. Anyway, next question. What's this one say? Are you going anywhere near? Is that so I can't even pronounce. I don't even know where that is. So I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know where that is. This is how bad I am at geography. What I tend to do on my trip is that I will look. If you send us a message, I'll have a look where that is exactly, and I will tell you. Right now, my bike is stored in the Pyrenees. I fly back out on the 30th at night, and then at 9 o'clock in the morning, I end up aiming to set off from Malvesey in France, and aim, like I said, is to go across the Pyrenees Mountains. Also, what's really exciting, actually, what reminds me of this, is that I have two people, like I said before about I love people to come along on my ventures. Now, one of them, Paul, that you saw in the last episode, is actually riding for 2 days straight to come and join me again. Well, I think it's absolutely awesome, because I feel like I just wind people up, and he's going to come back for more. So I'm looking forward to that, because he is such an awesome guy. And then the other person is Lee, who built Ashworth. What's going to be quite emotional, because me and Lee actually phone each other nearly every other day about something that's going on. What's really, really cool. And I've not seen him since, obviously, the build. And he's not seen a bike, and he's so protective of the bike. He's already said, when I turn up, I'm going to do the oil, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So I already know the bike's going to be looked after. Anything I've done wrong, he's going to sort out. But I can't wait to see it, because I'm back to having the best man hug in the entire world. So episode 1, you're going to get Paul and Lee joining me, and we're going to be going over the Pyrenees Mountains. The footage is going to be incredible. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And we might even hit it still when there's snow at the top. What could be quite fun as well, because Paul's on that massive pan-European, and Lee's coming on his GS. He's going to be riding for a couple of days as well, just to join me. As far as I know, Lee's going to join me throughout all of leg 2, even when I arrive at Portugal, and he gets to meet the Pink My Bike guys as well, because he'll be doing the tour with them. That's really cool as well. And I'm pretty sure Paul will be as well. I don't know. He's not messaged me to tell me if he's doing the whole lot or not yet. But either way, basically, 3 dudes, massive bikes, Ashworth, over mountains, and craziness. It's going to be a giggle. Right, what we're up to next? Have a sip of my beer quickly. Here we go. Wants to know if Monica is behind the camera. Who? Oh. If I've read that right, and I think I've got it right, if I think that this is what I probably need a few more drinks, but there's lots of other YouTubers, and I've always said I shouldn't, I really shouldn't, but if I'll scroll through, not Carl, he'll tell you if nobody gets it. But if I just said Monica, pan in, Monica, come closer, Monica. See if anyone can guess what YouTuber that is. And again, if not that they're going to watch this, but if they did, I'm now falling out with more people that I potentially will meet in the future. I'm good like that. Right, here we go. Question. Hi HH. How many miles did the monkey bike do before it was rebuilt? I think it was 7,500. What doesn't sound like a lot, but I put that bike through so much from the beginning. And the one thing to remember is a lot of my adventures having the monkey cycle camper van, the different versions of it throughout the history of the channel. Bikes go in the back, so the monkey bike would go in the back of the camper van. I would then say take it to Wales, then it would only do the ride it had to do. But the Honda monkey bike has gone, well, from day one I rode it to Wales and back from where I live. It's loads. I'm going to forget most of this. I have took it to Cheddar Gorge. I've jumped over a human. I've taken it off-roading. I've done a load of river crossings. I took it down the Strata, Florida, and it survived it without even getting a scratch, where the sidekick's bike basically got knackered. I raced it at the Mali Mile, full revs, from cold, not good. What else have I done with it? Oh, and I rode it all the way around the UK as well. But it was already burning oil beforehand. I just didn't realise that I'd basically knackered the piston rings. And apparently, those people that argue with this, but about every 5,000 miles, they're known to start doing that, apparently. But don't quote me on that. But it's basically, I just put that bike through so much and it survived. And to be fair, I was brutal with it and it's done an incredible job. So 7,500 and still going. I've just done about another 1,200 miles on it. But yeah, there you go. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of miles, but it has done well. Let me have a sip of the. Okay, where are we up to? Have I got foreign breakdown cover? No, I haven't. And the reason why that I haven't, I can get so many days free with my AA that I should probably do. But the way I look at it is like this, is that I'm not going to go out of whichever country I'm in full stop. So worst case happens, my bike breaks down. I make a call, I put out on social media, one or the other. And so, for instance, if I was in France, I could give my dad a ring. He'll know who to ring. If I'm in Spain and I have a problem with my bike, I ring the guys that pink my bike because they'll either know who to call or who to send out. Worst case, I will use Google and find any motorcycle garage nearby, and I'll ring up and speak fluent whatever language it is because I'm so good, and I'll pay them because either way, I don't want the bike to come home. I want it to get towed to a garage and get fixed. And the worst case would be have a new engine put in it or whatever because I don't want to give up. So no, I haven't got breakdown cover. I am massively risking it for a biscuit. And I'm sure there's going to be a country I'm going to end up in and massively regret it. But I'm pretty sure, I'm confident people are good, really good. I'm pretty sure people will help me out anywhere in the world. So that's the reason why. At least that's my thinking. So those are the two pink my bike guys. That's as far back as I am. I've done those shots. How many have we got left? Maybe Bert just turn around. We're doing well. We are doing really well. Any more questions? Right, let's pop this one on. Sip another beer. Proper Lord's cup there. Do you speak any foreign languages? Peter, I am fluent in literally every language. I got basically taught the best ever in the entire world. For example, my French is fantastic. Mange tu, Rodney, et tu, Brute, Grand Beer. My Spanish, si, amigo, beer. Portuguese, pink my monkey, pink my bike, pink monkey. They'll know exactly what I'm saying. Straight away when I say beer, see, every language, it's fine. It's fine. I speak loads. Fluent in pretty much every single one. Right, where else are we at? There's my dad, by the way. What's he say? Donk, you really need to get a white helmet for your next stage of your world tour, as it will get hot and sweaty. Can you suggest a sponsor for this? My dad's always working behind the scenes. He didn't put question though, did he? So he's not listening. Yeah, I actually said to him, I need to get a white helmet. Now, the one thing about my Rurock helmet is, one, obviously, it's pretty battered already for what it's gone through, but in the heat, and I knew this was going to happen, but in the heat, it gets red hot. But it's set up for vlogging, and it's very hard to get a helmet that's really good for vlogging, and it's set up quite well. Ideally, at some point, I'm going to have to get a white helmet because it's going to get too hot. I've been in talks with K-Berg. They were massively interested in helping us out, sending us a helmet and all this stuff. They sent it to their UK distribution centre. They then didn't get in touch. But the Italian side of it love it. They love the channel. For some reason, the UK one hasn't. I might potentially buy one, get sent one somewhere. If I do, I need to order the right mount. It comes from chin mount to get put on the helmet. It needs to fit properly and set up. So yeah, ideally someone will send me a helmet and I can talk about it during the trip. But reality is, I'm kind of past the point with brands. I get approached by, I think even this last week, I've had 2 lots of helmet companies want to send me their comms to review on the channel. The thing of it is, I did one last year with Food Sport. That's great budget com. And these 2 brands are budget comms as well. And they both look very similar. And I just go, I've kind of done that. And right now for the adventure, I don't want to just veer off and do a comms unit review because I don't need one on the helmet. And Mercado is really, really good, to be fair. People might say I'm mad for not accepting it, but do you want to see me review 2 similar comms, or just buy the ones that I bought last time if you have to budget comms because they do the job? And that's kind of where I am with that. Anyway, a similar thing, I've answered that. Here we go. Question: is there a rough time frame for your journey? No. So my journey, I'm hoping with the world trip will almost, I'd say never ending, but I think it's going to take many years because I really don't just want to ride around the world. I want to ride every country I possibly can on the monkey bike, and countries that I can get into and find places to store the bike. Because I'd love it. Imagine being, I don't know, imagine the story that bike's going to tell by the end. Already France, Spain, Portugal, if I can possibly get into Africa, we'll be getting into Africa, maybe going on from there into Italy. It goes on and goes on. Now, as we all know in the world, we can't go everywhere at the minute. Lots of things are going on, and some places are probably too dangerous for me to go to. But we'll see. We'll see what happens over the time it takes for this to happen, because hopefully things will get better and I'll be able to get via certain countries to certain places. If worst case happens in regards to me trying to get past a certain leg and I can't because things are going on, I will just detour up and go a different way, because I want to do every country anyway. And if I have to go round and back and cross again, I will. Worst case, I will get around the world. I just want to try and do loads different countries, and it will take years and years and years. And that's why I'm trying to make all these life choices at the minute, to try and make sure I've got money coming in, because the further I go, the more expensive it's going to get. And I mean, I'm winging it. So there's no time frame, basically, no time frame at all. Here we go. So the bike is 30 minutes. There you go. From 30 minutes basically. Perhaps HAG place. Did you go? I don't know. Anyway, it's 30 minutes away apparently. Is that the airport? That might be the airport that I flew into potentially. Anyway, here we go. Pool on a pan. I'm guessing this is the same pool. It's got to be. I'm guessing the same pool that came with me. Will you allow Lee to tighten the fuel can up properly? No. It is the fuel can I've done up, and I've done it up at a Lord strength that I class as very liquid hands, and it will come off again. And I don't care if it's slightly moving and it's dodgy. It's 11 out of 10. You'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, no, I'm not letting him do it again, because either Paul won't be there or Lee won't be there. I'll be stuck in a desert somewhere, run out of fuel, and I'll be there going, and everyone will think I've been having a massive poo. And instead of that, I'm just trying to get fuel. Right, here we go. So there's your answer. The whole Monica thing. Freddie Dobbs. Yeah, I keep saying I could literally, and I won't. I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody buys us enough shots, I'll probably have a laugh and see if we can guess the YouTubers. I can guarantee I'll upset them. But I bet I can come up with a load of phrases for certain YouTubers, and you will turn around and go, I know who that is. I know that is. I know it is just by saying that. Anyway, are you drinking Brian's ale? Brian's ale? Sorry about the dyslexia again. It's apparently no. I'm drinking. This is going to sound really cheap. Where I live, we've recently had a Sainsbury's open, and to be fair, the prices are better than I thought they were going to be. But they have like bruised beer cans with a little dent in it, and they keep just putting 4 together and doing them really cheap. So I bought 4 Budweiser cans, what were dented for like, I don't know, £2 less than they're supposed to be. So it's just cheap beer. So it's Bud, but it's in a Lord's cup, so it makes it taste better in every single way. And also, why I remember, I just want to say, I've now ordered my 4th lot of helmet head light stickers. Obviously, I sell. There's a link and stuff for that on the Facebook page. But just thanks to everybody that's bought them. It's quite incredible to think that there's probably, I don't know how many now, well over 100 plus on motorcycles all around, not just the UK, the world as well. They've got that on. That obviously increases the value by a zillion %. But it is a really proud thing to think that I might ride along one day and actually see my my sticker on someone else's bike and go, oh, that's my sticker. And then hopefully they'll see me and recognise it's me and go, oh, there's helmet head. Or they might look at me and go, who's that weirdo staring? But anyway, cheers for that. I've literally got a few of them left and I've got another batch coming. So just really cool. I thought I better mention it because it's just so cool to see it. Where are we up to? Hang on 2 seconds, more beer. What does your support team consist of whilst you're on tour? Are you totally solo? Cheers, Ray. Well, I am in regards to solo, and I do literally film everything myself. People come along and they support me all the time throughout my different adventures, and like someone's come along, I might ask them to hold a camera, etc., or whatever. But I'd love to turn around and say to you, I've got a massive budget and I've got an entire film crew, and there's a really cool dude called Bob who's in a Land Rover Discovery hanging out the back capturing all the cool shots. But the reality is, yeah, everything is solo. I have at one point I had somebody doing some of my emails and stuff like this because it was so busy. At the moment, I'm pretty much doing everything. So I'm filming, I am editing, I am producing, I'm putting all the content up on the Facebook page, Instagram page, replying to every single email that's sent out to me. Yeah, I'm doing a lot at the minute. I'm hopefully at some point in the future again, I can have somebody deal with some of the social media for me as well. I would never give up the editing side because I love making it. It's my story, it's my vision, it's in my head. And filming, I'd love to have the money to have some people come and do some better filming than I could do to make it more cinematic. But it's just me. It is just me. Right, what we're up to here. So I'm going to do this one first. So thank you again. So we're on to our next one. So what are we going to do? Red. We're going to have red. So Abby, thank you again. That's your second one tonight. So thank you very, very much. I can't remember which one this one tastes like. I just want it to have a bit of strawberry in it. But Yakida, thank you so much for supporting me in the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, strawberry flavour. Okay, so we are coming towards the end, I think. Any more questions, please get them in. If another channel like 44 Teeth offered you a job, would you take it? No, to be honest with you. I actually, because it's popped up all over, hasn't it? All over YouTube, people doing videos that either have never done YouTube before or have got a channel because they put a job up. Literally, it's popped up all over my feed of people making it. I don't know if they've made a decision on that or not yet. They are an awesome channel. Don't get me wrong; they are like next level good. But yeah, no. To be honest, I completely giving up my job would be a potential for me to go and do something like that. But I like the brand. We've created what I like to call the brand, the helmet brand. The 11 out of 10 is like, I'm the average Joe. I'm the dude with a family, a job that works hard, and I would give up the job to do YouTube full time. And I really wish that I could one day, but no, I love what we've created here, so I wouldn't want to go to someone else. I think it's a big we, basically, and we all support each other on this channel. So no, I wouldn't. Right, I'm gonna sip a little bit more beer. Oh, and here we go. Question. Does Ashworth plan to sell your setup as a kit or spec for DIY? So just to say it again. Does Ashworth plan to sell your setup as kit or spec for DIY? What I'll say, Paul, there's been interesting. There was a company that actually contacted me that I passed on to Paul, so that they've contacted him, Paul, to Lee, to basically inquiring a very similar thing. What I'd suggest is drop Ashworth Automotive. There is a link down, not in this video, but all my other videos, to them on their Facebook. Drop Lee an actual message, because he literally rebuilt that engine. No one else makes like an actual kit, and to be fair, you would have seen the videos. Just done 1,200 miles on that bike, and do you know what? Up hills like it would have done before, I lost a bit of power and all that kind of stuff. But I don't actually think those panniers have caused a massive effect. And the way he's done it with having the weight so low down, I mean, you don't know how much is on it. Like, I've probably overloaded it. I've probably put too much on it, and it is doing it spot on. And there's just loads of room in there, and nothing's moved. Everything's solid. If I was somebody that wanted to make their monkey bike into an overlander, into an adventure bike, I'd take it to Lee, because he clearly knows what he's doing. He's got the right stuff in place, and just get him to do it. I'm pretty sure if you contact him, asked him about a kit and if he could make it and send it to you, I'm sure he'd do that as well. But I'd just take it to him. I'd just ring up and say, this is what I want. Can you quote me how much it's going to cost? And get him to do it. And also that suspension, as far as I'm aware, and I might get this wrong, but he had the TSS, the suspension people, make up that front part of that suspension through the weight and everything else. Just take it to him and just get him to do it, because you're not going to be disappointed. That bike is better than it's ever been before. The ride quality is the best I've ever had it. So just honestly, just drop a message and go and see him, because it's the best thing that you'll ever do. Right, I'm going to sip another little bit of beer. Right, here we are. Question. Do you still rate Roasting jeans after another adventure in them? I want to buy women's leggings with the discount. Yeah, Roasting jeans. I mean, I wear them literally since day one of them given to me. Obviously, I wore them for 16 days around the UK. I've got the same pair literally now on the world trip. Originally, I was going to put it into a frame and all that stuff. And I've gone, do you know what? I'm just going to keep wearing the same pair of jeans. It's probably really minging now, actually, because I never washed them. They did send me another pair, but now I'm in the UK. I'm not going to be without Roadskin jeans. So I've literally opened them and gone, I'm just going to wear these for whatever bike I get here. Honestly, they are not paying for me. I would absolutely love for them to sponsor the channel, because I actually really love their brand, but they don't pay me to say it, like I said. And even the discount code thing, I do get a slight kickback from that, to be completely honest. But even if I didn't, I'd recommend them, because they are that good. So yeah, go and pick up. I can't talk for the women's jeans, but from what I've seen, everybody loves them. So just go and pick up a pair. It's the best thing you can do, is go and pick up a pair of Roaskin jeans. I personally wouldn't wear anyone else's jeans now. I think they are the jeans I'll probably wear for the rest of my riding career. I've said that now. You watch, I'll get something like Hood Jeans or somebody come along wanting to sponsor the channel. I'll be like, But massively into Roaskin jeans. They've actually turned around and said they're going to send me out a hoodie hopefully soon. And I'm looking forward to that, because if the hoodie's as good as the jeans, well, then I not want to wear a normal bike jacket again. I don't know. We'll see. And from what I can see from the hoodie, it's waterproof as well. So if it's as good as it looks, yeah, I like them massively. Massive fan of Roaskin, not just for their support, but generally it is that good. And even Monkey Dicks even agrees with me. And yeah, so there you go. Anyone that's bought a pair will say exactly the same thing. Good luck on your next tour, from Givey Eric. Cheers, dude. I appreciate that. Is the sidekick joining you on any of the legs? So the sidekick Darren, he is hopefully joining me in a few months' time. He's just recently changed jobs, so he is working really hard at the minute to build up some money and settle into his new job. And he has said, hopefully in sort of 3 or 4 months' time, he'll be able to join me somewhere sunny, somewhere hot. Hopefully fly out and hire a scooter or a bike and come and join me on the adventure. And I can't wait as well. But right now, he is literally working his butt off in his new job, basically creating a whole new career for himself, getting a good name for himself and all of the good stuff. So hopefully he'll be with us soon. I already miss him. I'm not filming too much here in the UK at the minute because I'm very much concentrating on the world trip and raising money. We just sit there. It's really difficult for me not to do lots of filming here, but I kind of want the world trip to be the focus. In between legs, I've got stuff going on like the patron meet. The sidekick will be there on the patron meet. We're talking about the Helmet Head Festival that still may or may not happen. I've not heard anything more on that yet. I need to chase it up on. So that's a potential. But there's lots of other stuff that hopefully will happen in between the legs over here. But we'll see. But you'll definitely see that sidekick on the patron meet. He's all signed up for that. So this is the Works channel. I've asked before in our hearts to hearts, but how do you keep up the pace for this? As in, you mean the channel or the adventure? Because if it's the channel, it's basically a full-time job as well. I just live and breathe work, family, and this. And I love the channel. So I put loads and loads of hours, time, effort in, editing, doing pictures, put up on the Facebook page a lot. And pretty much I've been doing it for how many years now? And quite a few people have always said to me, oh, well, you know, you've only got this many subscribers and this many people watching it. And it's about the community that you create more than anything else. A lot of people say to me, oh, you should celebrate. I've got a lot with the 5,000 subscriber side of things. People say, congratulations, now if it just hit 7,000 subscribers. But at the end of the day, it's the people that watch it more than the subscriber level, and the people like you guys coming on and being here and being part of it that actually makes it more important to me and the community. And even if you think the last, I don't know, few adventures, someone's come along, supported me, wanting to hang out with us and be part of it. And that's more important to me than anything else. And that's why I keep going the way that I go, because every time you get ups and downs on the world of YouTube, especially with figures and numbers. And it hits a low. Like at the end of this adventure, it's actually gone quite quiet compared to what it did in the beginning. And then something will come out of the blue and you'll get a phone call from, you know, a company wanting to work with you, or you'll get somebody sending you a message, or someone today sending me 20 quid towards the adventure, and it will like lift your spirits and you go, do you know what? People love it, what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is obviously right because the community that are supporting me. And that's what keeps me going. It's a massive part of my drive. Right, it's I think it's skipping. Right, where are we up to? Monkey Dick, fantastic, love the live chat. Have a great next trip. You can try them on and go to their store. I didn't even know they have a store, to be honest. I know they did. Don't they have a little store somewhere about Roaskin jeans? I think you're right. I think they still do. He still doesn't put question. This is my dad. Dad, put question. Make my life easier. Do you still wear brew, eat pies, or have any other tips for keeping so fit for all your tours? You wind-up merchant. Yes, I do. The biggest thing in life and the best bit of advice I can give anybody in life about the way they look and the way they feel is be you. And eat pie if it makes you happy, ride motorcycle if it makes you happy, drink beer if it makes you happy. You are as good as you feel, and screw everyone else, basically. That's my answer to that, Dad. Really cool, interesting hearing you take on everything. The right you see is one of the lads. Inspiring, let's get off our arse. Yeah, I mean, that's what I want the channel to be. I want it to inspire people. So, I appreciate that. Is there any more questions? This is the biggest thing. Any more? I've been going for an hour and nearly 13 minutes at this point. Have we got anything else? If you do, stick a question in. yeah, otherwise we are going to end the live stream. What's been absolutely awesome. So just literally reflecting on it. Leg one, we made it through France, 1,200 miles from the UK across France, done. Leg two, over the Pyrenees, along the north sort of coast of Spain. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And then we're going to end up at Pink My Bike, and then we're going to do a Portuguese tour on leg three. So we've got 2 more legs coming up, and it's just going to get better and better and better and be some of the best filming I've ever done. Got a few more questions coming through. I'm sorry if I'm there. It's the beer or the shots. James West, I've got £3,000. What bike do you recommend, mate? It depends what you want. What do you want? Do you want adventure? Do you want classic? Tell me what you want with the question, and I'll give you what bike I'd buy for £3,000. Cruiser. Let me know which one you want, and I'll recommend it, because for £3,000 you can get a lot of awesome motorcycles. I think £3,000 in reality is the sort of basic that you need to get something half decent. There's a Harley for sale for 3.5 currently on eBay that I own, that literally runs amazingly, that's set up perfectly, and it's stage 1 tuned. And Scream Eagle, if you're interested in that, give us a shout, pop a bid on. So this says, shot Tim, £5. I'm doing for. Did you send me a PayPal thing? So sorry, I'm just going to quickly check because I don't know. No, I can't see. Listen, I happily have a shot for you anyway, Steve, because I'm pretty sure that you, buddy, regardless of anything, massively support me on my venture. If I'm right, you sent this PayPal payment to help me during the trip, so I'm going to do it anyway, regardless, because I massively appreciate all those PayPals. Cheers. It's the one that looks like old man's wee, by the way. It tastes like it too. Not that I've ever tasted old man's wee. Question. Here we go. How badly do you miss the Bonnie? The Works channel, he bought my day. He bought my Bonneville off of me and made it into this awesome scrambler. What looked loads better than I ever did with it. But to be honest, I massively miss that Bonneville. It's one of those bikes that I wish I'd kept, and I'd like another one. But I miss it, and I wish I kept it. But I'd rather have a T100. And I've actually got in my garage that I bought because I was going to buy one ages and ages ago. I've got the ones, the exhaust on there. Let me just check something. Yeah, I bought the exhaust. You know, the Triumph ones, and you'll know what I'm talking about here. The ones that say not for road use. I'm pretty sure I've not got the baffles on. You know, the proper silver pea shooter ones, and they've been sat in there 4 years in my garage, 4 years, waiting to go on because I said I'm going to buy myself a T100. So I think I will. To be fair, I think I'll get myself another one because I'm not selling the exhaust for a reason. Because I think putting them on will make it sound something incredible. So we'll get another Bonneville. I've just had £5 via PayPal pop up on my phone. So I'm going to do another shot out of appreciation because, again, it's the second thing he's done to support me. How many of them is there? There's not that many left, is there? Jesus. Right. I'm going to drink this and I'm going to play a little game as well. So we'll guess a YouTuber at a time and see if they can get it, and then we'll move on and we'll see how long it lasts for because we've been going and nearly an hour and 20 minutes. So Yaki Dar again, buddy. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Oh, that stuff is rank, isn't it? So let me just check, make sure I get this right. Stephen Terrier, thank you again, buddy. That was for you. I massively appreciate it. Again, I'm rubbish with reading names and stuff, so I apologise if I get it wrong. Here we go. Right, what are we up to? We're up to here. Carl. Now, Carl, just before I put this and read what he's put, actually, can you put the Union flag the right way up, please? Is there a wrong or right way up for the Union flag? Is there? Is there? Can we do like half of it? I don't know. How can that be? don't know. We'll do it like that instead, Carl, because then I can't get it wrong. Carl, who owns Chapter One Diner, who has the second person to put a sticker on my motorcycle for massively supporting me. So I've got Ashworth Automotive sticker, I've got his club sticker, obviously helmet sticker on there, and I've got Chapter One sticker on there. But Carl rocked my world today because he sent me a picture of two people from watching the YouTube channel that turned up for breakfast. I said to him, did they order an 11 out of 10 breakfast? He said, no, they had a club. Come on, people. Chapter One Diner asked for an 11 out of 10 or helmet head breakfast because I'm desperate to get it put on the menu. I want to add a special breakfast in there. And hey, if we can get it on there and enough people are interested, I will come and do a bike night at Chapter One Diner, and we can all have a helmet head hot dog. You can eat my dog. That sounds really wrong, but yeah, I love Carl. He's my brother from another mother. He gets what I mean when I say that as well, because like we just get on so well. Right, what are we up to now? What's this one? Something that will get me a date. No more adventure. Buy yourself a Triumph Scrambler. To be fair, it's well sexy. You get one bag put on the side to put your stuff in, and just look really cool with it. It's a cool bike. It's not practical for long distance and stuff like that, but just for sheer looks, get that. Or buy my Harley. Anyway, here we go. Oh, hang on, where have I got to? I've just pressed the wrong button now. Right, Eric. Eric is currently a channel member and a patron. So I don't know if you've cancelled your channel member thing or not yet, but you're both, which is really cool. So cheers, dude. Can we track your next leg in Portugal via Facebook? So the next leg is Spain. It will end up in Portugal, but the next part of it's Spain. You will be able to, so basically every time I'm abroad, I have to pay, I think it's currently, I'm with EE, it's £2 a day for data. And I'm pretty sure that's most countries in Europe. So while I'm in Europe, every time I can do it and I can just pay for data, I will definitely put tracking and put photos up exactly the same as I've done. If I get into Africa and I'm staying in Africa for a while, for instance, I can't do that there. It's a massive amount of money from what I can see on data. I will try and get a local SIM and do it that way. If not, unfortunately not. So why I can get data, I would love people to track me because I want people from all different countries hopefully to come and find me and ride with me. So yes, for the next part, and yes, for the part after that, and even the fourth leg after that, I don't know currently, unless I get loads of money and get absolutely huge and I can afford just to pay for data in any country. Where up to now? Question. Oh, good question. Hang on. Right. So, what is your main camera microphone, please? All the best, John. Depending on what you want. So if you're talking about a helmet camera, I'm guessing you are, but if you want me to tell you more, I will. But basically, I'll go through my setup really, really quickly. On my helmet, I think I'm running a GoPro 10 with a media mod, and that's attached to my helmet with a chin mount. So I think it's an Australian company or Canadian company, but they'll send you the mount that's manufactured for your exact helmet. So it just literally pops on. It's brilliant. And I'm running a Purple Panda lav mic, and it's massively important you buy the Purple Panda. I've tried loads of other ones, and regardless of what anybody will tell you, they will always peak, but a GoPro 10 with a media mod, it will only record at a certain level. So if you do that and you drop 1 decibel down in your editing software, that's the best audio that you're ever going to get. Massively loud bike, like the Harley, doesn't like it. There's nothing you can do about it, but average bike, you're pretty good. To use as a vlogging camera that I can talk to and walk around with, that is awesome next level and comes with a radio mic, the DJI Pocket 2 is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'd suggest if you're going to go into vlogging, don't just run one camera filming forward. So don't just have the GoPro, because people will get bored. I get bored watching people that do it. Get a second camera. Now, I've recently got my hands on the DJI Osmo 3 action camera, and I don't recommend it. If I was you, I'd buy another GoPro 10 or GoPro 11 and have that. The reason why with the Osmo, like the original Osmo, it's not as good on lighting or like facing you. and it's still the newest version still suffers. I have to do quite a lot on the editing, but I can't afford another GoPro. So 2 GoPros and a DJI Pocket, and you will have an unbelievable setup. And if you want to get better, get yourself better than I've got. Get the latest Insta. I think it's the X3, basically the 360 camera for all of your pointing around riding footage. Just get all those cameras. It's a lot of money, but that's the ultimate setup. The basic setup, 2 GoPros. You can even use the GoPro that's on the front of your handlebars as a vlogging one for the rest of the time. That's what I'd suggest. Hopefully that answered all of that. I've probably gone well too far. Let's sip another bit of beer. Oh, I think the shots are starting to kick in. Right, just before I go too much further and answer any more questions, I'm going to play play a little Trump now. I'm not going to don't any of you buy me too many more shots. I'm going to see if anyone gets this one as a YouTuber. Now, I've not watched, what sounds really bad for me to say this one now, I've just said it. I've not watched a lot of these people for a while, what I apologise for, so they might have changed. Let's just try another YouTuber that I think, by the way, I have a massive amount of respect for this YouTuber that I'm about to do, because I generally think there's certain people I class as like almost they made the motorcycle vlogging what it is today, so they deserve a hell of a lot of respect. But this is one. If I said Nationals, who's that? Who always says Nationals? Who's that? All right, anyway, let me scroll through the questions. Here we go. Oh, hang on, have I done that one? Yes. So, what is your main camera? I've done that one, haven't I? And then he just put on the R bike. I mean, yeah, on the bike, the GoPro 10, Purple Panda, Media Mod. Don't try getting the Osmo or anything else for the actual helmet camera because the audio is rubbish. Just get GoPro 10 or GoPro 11 with the Media Mod, Purple Panda microphone. Tuck it underneath. Tuck it so the bit of the microphone is just sticking out of the chin thing. Don't go for a half face helmet, full face. Just it's slightly sticking out. It's got to have a dead cat that's a wind muffler on it. Best audio you're ever going to get. That's from Steve or Stephen. Cheers, dude. I've had 2. So yeah, cheers, dude. Do you know what? I'm actually going to give everyone keep the questions coming if you want to keep it going. I'm getting, I think, towards the end. So if anyone can think of any more, please put them up. Do that. I'm going to pop for what I like to call a wee break. I need to find out where we are when I get back. And then we'll keep continuing this as long as possible. And hopefully we can do a few more YouTubers as well. Hopefully get a few more shots. But when I run out of questions, I am going to stop really nearly an hour and a half into it. Anyway, I'm desperate for a wee. Having my wee break. Hang on. And of course, to have a wee break, we've got to do it in proper 11 out of 10 style. I'll be back as quick as I can and enjoy the sound of this. Hello. Does that make you want to go to the loo or what? I can even hear it when I'm in the loo. I'm going to the toilet. I'm never going to stop. Right, hang on. Right, where have we got to? Oh, I've missed loads. Hang on. All right, here we go. What do you use as a sat nav and how do you plan your route? great question. So what I use on the sat nav side of things is I generally just use Google Maps. And the reason why I do is everything's on my phone and I can charge it on my quad lock. I was lucky enough to get it from quad lock sent from them. It's a great product and you literally clip it on. It's wireless charging and it just charges the phone. So I'm going to become what's really bad. Hang on, I've just got another PayPal thing sent through. So hang on, let me just, sorry, bear with me for 2 seconds. Hold the phone caller. That's what Lee says to me. Yeah, cool. So yeah, I use that. So I literally use Google Maps to plan it. Every day, this is going to sound really bad, but I will zoom in somewhere that looks nice and I'll put a pinpoint on it. I don't overplan. I don't do what a lot of people hate me for doing this. I don't spend months and months planning. So this is how pretty much leg 2 is going to go. I'm going to turn up in France. I'm going to say to my dad, what's the most awesomest, craziest, nuttiest pass I could possibly do? He'll name somewhere. I'll pull up Google Maps. I'll put a pin at the top. I will then follow that to the top of the mountain. And then I'm arranging hopefully to meet Senior Lord Head for lunch as part of that first day. So I'll go up early in the morning, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I'll ride up, I'll put that pin in, I'll put a pin down in Spain where I'm going to meet him for lunch. Then I'm going to ride down the mountain, get absolutely epic shots. And then I'll drop a pin at the coastline somewhere north in Spain and I will follow that. That is literally how every day will go. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll look on the map, I'll drop a pin and I'll follow it and see what happens. And if roads are closed or something goes wrong, I'll find a way around it. I've got a TomTom 550 that I'm going to be taking with me for potentially if I can't get my phone to work and I'll have to pay for maps in different countries to go on that because I said it will get costly. But TomTom is not TomTom, Google Maps. What I like about it is it's pretty much good on traffic. It will reroute me around stuff quite well and it will do quite a lot quite simply. So Google Maps basically in a quad lock is all you need. Don't shed loads of money, loads of other stuff. Right, where are we up to now? Will you have a single malt of the day on a future episode? I'd love a single malt, to be honest. The thing of it is that most stuff makes me go, but I'd love to get into single malt. So, yeah, if I can find one abroad, a good single malt, I would happily try a good single malt abroad. The reality is I probably can't afford it because I'm spending all my money on stuff, but I'd love to. I'd love to go on an adventure, to be honest, with somebody in Scotland who knows all these places and whiskies, and hopefully we'll get sponsored to do it. That would be the best thing in the world. And we'll go around and I'll actually get a taste for whiskey in different places, and someone can actually explain to me why they taste like they taste. I'd appreciate to do with barrels and aging and stuff like this, but I'd love to do something like that. Obviously, if we do it on the bike, you might have to have a day off in between. But yeah, anyway. Loads of laughing faces. Someone put wrong side. Wrong side for what? What's the wrong side? Thumbs up. What's the wrong side? The flag's the wrong side. Is it better that side? Is that it? Is that better? Does that float some people's boats? Purple Panda, I think the work uses a Purple Panda as well, so he knows what I'm talking about. How many miles has the monkey bike got on the clock? I've answered that earlier. I had 7.5 hours before I left. In miles, it's going to have over 7.5. It's going to have probably closer to, I don't know, 750, maybe coming up to 9 at the minute. Have you tried pairing the Cardo headset with the Insta via Bluetooth? No, I haven't. And the reason why I haven't is because I've used, in episodes yonks and yonks ago, I managed to use the inbuilt microphone in the center. And the audio on it is so peaked. It's absolutely crazy. And one thing about Insta as well, and is that the audio, whenever you put a mic to it, I've experienced with it, again, it's really badly peaked. That's too much for you to bring down. So when you record audio in regards to filming, the best thing you can do is actually film quieter and bring your audio up. That gives you better sound quality than when it peaks. So what the media mod does in the GoPro, like I said, is it caps it. So it's still peaked. So that's why it's not perfect in anyone's videos, but it caps it. So you can bring it down before it's distorted, so it's not as bad. Ideal world is you want it quieter and you can bring it up. And I've heard, if anybody's interested in spending crazy amounts of money, I actually do have the DJI wireless mics, but a lot of people are now connecting them to their Insta360s and Osmo Actions and things, and then running the wireless mic inside the helmet and doing a similar thing to what I do. And apparently the audio on that is incredibly good. But I'm and it's supposed to last for hours, but because I film everything in what I call short scenes, so I do literally clip the filming and I'll do a load of riding, I'd be constantly having to try and turn it on and off, so it doesn't work for the way I have my setup. But anybody else, it could work really well for them. Thanks, mate. Excellent answer. Cheers, dude. Works. Oh, it's me. Oh, there we go. The YouTuber Teapot One. Well done. We got some good answers coming back. And we got yeah, the dude's a legend, to be honest. Teapot One is an absolute legend. Massive respect to him. Like I said, he's one of what I call I think he's one of the originals, if that makes sense. Awesome. Shall I try and do someone else and see if we can? How many people can get this? So what did we get? There's probably more answers down there. Ready for the next YouTuber for everybody to try and guess just off of the phrase. Hopefully I'll get this right. The show must go on. That's all I'll say. Again, these are all massively bigger than I am, just as a massive hit. Well, the one and only Teapot One. Yeah, exactly. The guy's an absolute legend. Have you been on Brew Time yet? He's been around the world, you know. Do you know what? The Brew Time thing, that's quite funny. Biker Buddy did the charity trip that I did, and he was on Brew Time, and he mentioned it, and he dropped a message, go, have you heard this podcast? And basically said that he'd mentioned on it. And I listened to that one, and since listening to that one, because I have about an hour commute to work, yeah, I've listened to pretty much everyone since, because I love listening. Hence why I've said recently I'm thinking about doing a Helmet Head podcast, because I listen now to podcasts, and lots of YouTubers or bike people do podcasts with bikes, and his is probably the best one out. Well, it is the best motorcycle podcast out there, because it's interesting. It has different guests on. I've not been invited as of yet. If he wants to reach out to me, it'd be an absolute honour, because the dude's an absolute legend, and I'd love to go on. I don't know if anyone want to listen to me, but yeah, the guy's a legend, so it'd be an honour. But no, he's not reached out to me. Where are we at? Right, let me sip another beer. Do you know what? We've done well with the shots, to be honest with you. I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and I was generally broken out. When I bought them, I was going, if I actually get through all of them, I have to go on to that brandy. So I appreciate when it's bought me one. I'm just glad I've not got through them all, because I think I'll be quite ropey by now. I'll be saying more things I shouldn't say. Next question. What do you think of the new Transat? Oh, that's a good question. It's a real tough one, isn't it? Because if I was going to buy a medium weight adventure bike right now, and I'm not ridden these, so this is very important to say, so I can't give you my actual riding opinion of them, but out of all of the middleweight bikes going at the minute, I wouldn't have bought the Transalp right now. Now, I'm hearing good things about the Transalp by quite a few different people, and I reckon it's incredibly a great bike, but my experience, well, people are going to hate me for saying this, but there's quite a lot of Hondas that I actually think are quite to ride. They are great bikes, but they lack something, if that makes sense. There's some that don't. I'm not saying all ones, like the Monkey Bike is the best bike in the entire world. The Africa Twin looks like quite a beast. My fear about the Transalp is it looks, I don't like the front, the way it looks, and I think it might ride a bit mediocre, because I've ridden a few Hondas that feel mediocre around that, like including my CB500X. It was just good. It was a good bike. It was very good at what it did, but it lacked spirit. And I think the Transalp's going to. But the Aprilia Touareg, the new one, looks like a beast. And if I put both up against each other, I think I'd pick the Touareg. Of all of the medium weight adventure bikes, I think the Touareg off-road is supposed to be sensational. It looks better. I don't know if it's cheaper or not cheaper, but just those two factors, to be honest, is enough for me. But I say all of that, I've not ridden them. So that's just visual opinions, but that's what I'd buy. If I was buying middleweight now, be a prettier. Well, I'm actually shocked to say, because I wouldn't have thought I would have gone for Honda. But I just don't know. I think it'd be a mediocre ride. But anyway, another question. Are you planning to ride to Greece? Yes, 100%. I'm planning to ride to Greece. Yeah, to answer that, really quick, simple, and easy. Greece is definitely out there. It's a fantastic country, and I can't wait to get to Greece. I went on holiday in Greece last year. I love Greece. Where else are we at? Teapot one. Yeah, that was the answer for earlier. Thanks for all the thanks for the pee break. I needed that. Yeah, I bet it made you want to go, didn't it? With a zip. Yeah, and everyone commented last time I used that. My eyes are playing up again. Every time I used that last time, everybody was commenting saying that I don't reuse it. It's because I don't. I just leave it dangling. That's why I'm sat down here. Anyway, question. Sip my beer again. I need beer because my mouth's going dry. Given the world trip is your current focus, what are your top goals for the channel going forwards? So my top goals for the channel would be, ideally, in real world, I would love to go full time with this. That's my ultimate goal, is to have the Helmet Head brand be big enough for it to be able to give me enough of a wage that I could probably quit my day job. What's a massive, massive deal. I would love to open up the Helmet Head Cafe. So I want a studio cafe I want to open where people can come and enjoy some beers and look at all the stuff from the channel throughout the years. And we can have all sorts of stuff. I'd probably have to ask Carl from Chapter 1 to give me loads of advice on that. And then have a studio at the back where we can do filming. I'd like to take the Helmet Head channel. One of the things I'd like to do on top of the world trip and everything else is take the channel where we can basically buy some sort of random bikes. We can make, this would be an example. I'd love to buy a bike and see if we can make it into like almost like a boat that can cross the water, and we could literally get on a bike and we could create it into this like aqua machine and ride it from England to France, and do some absolute crazy stuff. But that's all dream world, and that's what I'd love for the channel to go. But full time is my ultimate goal, and that's what I'm trying my best to push for. Get the brand pushed out as much as possible. And the only way that ever happens is everybody that shares the videos tell people about the channel and gets involved. So I hope that answered your question. Let's move on. I need to sip every time. I'm constantly needing to sip. I'm going to have to fill up a beer in it if we keep going. I will call it a day soonish, I think. Right, where are we at? Knowing how gutted you were leaving Ashworth, would you be tempted to buy another monkey bike for the UK adventures? Yes, I actually thought about that literally as soon as I got home. If I bought one here, I'd want to buy one of the either newer or brand new ones, because I've got the 4-speed, I've got the Y-Class as the original 125. I'd like to try one of the new ones. I'm not sure which colour. I like the black if I was going for 5-speed. I'm not sure if that's available here. It's like a black and like kind of grey tank. Or I'd get one with the new seats side of things. I'd love to get one. Again, if money would allow, I'd get myself the big GS for my work course. I'd get another monkey bike for here. So yeah, 100%. I miss it. I massively miss having a monkey bike in my garage to go for a ride, because it is, and it always has been for all these years, a go-to bike. Even if at one point I was trying to go like, I want to put it less on the channel because I don't want to be known as the monkey bike guy. I'm just embracing it, to be honest, now, because I love the bike as much as I do. And I am that guy that loves bikes and the monkey bikes, and I know so many people have got them because of the channel, and I'm proud of it, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'd love to get another one. Are you shaving your head and beard for the trip? It's going to be hot. No, I'm not. I shaved this off. I don't know how many months ago it was now. And I kind of went, you know what? I look 10 years younger. And I felt really good about it. Then I quickly kept looking in the mirror going like, I'm missing something. And I go through stages. I get that thing where anybody that's got beard will kind of get it, that they go, I got it a little bit long, but then I feel like I'm a little bit homeless when it gets to a certain point. So then I kind of clip it and I go back to a 6, and then basically I go back to 4. And I think sort of this 4 to 6 kind of suits me the best. So yeah, no, I'm not shaving it. It's staying, at least as far as I'm concerned, forever at the minute. Right, sip some more beer. All right, do you use a mic to pick up your headset audio when you're on ride outs with the Psychic? So what we do, we both have the same setup. We have the GoPro 10 with the Purple Panda mic and the media mod, and we just use the comms to talk. And in the edit, what takes an incredible amount, I match the audio up. So I do what they call a sound test, where I clap 3 times. And as soon as I finish going sound test 1, I get the Psychic to repeat straight afterwards. And then what I do is I put all that, also I marry it up in the edit, and then I just chop between it. So literally then I'm chopping the bits out. So what you see is it's swapping to him, and it's the best audio. Anybody that does the split or like audio over comms, it sounds like they're talking over a radio, and I personally don't like it. And you have to put it into mono, because in stereo it's in one ear and out the other. So no, I do it raw. Well, I know a lot of people can't do it in a group ride, but that's still, again, the best audio that you're going to get. And for me, audio in videos is key. If you can achieve it, obviously it's harder if it's windy, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, here we go. So, right answer, Bogan, MDB. So $1 million Bogan. That's right. You got it. 3 of you got it right. All right, let me just have a look at this one. I'll do another YouTuber. I think of another YouTuber. I had loads in my head earlier. Famous phrases from big YouTubers. We've done Monica. We've done Nationals. We've done, what was it I said? Show Must Go On. Oh, if I think of another one, I'll come up. Then my brain's just dropped off. I've got those 3 in my head. Yeah, I'll think of another one. I'll do another one. Right, what we got here? I reckon Bruce would appreciate you on Brew Time. Guess, especially now you're on a world tour. Yeah, your own podcast. Great idea. Cheers. Yeah, I'd love to go on back to it. He's a top guy. I love that little symbol that you see. He's a channel member, like Julian, and we've met. He's awesome. Have you ever thoughts of the V-Strom 800? I do. Bear with me, because my throat's going. So I think Suzuki have kept the V-Stroms the way they are for a long time, because they are good. I think they're only just starting to, it's why I've put it in the right way. I think V-Stroms, they're only just starting to catch up in technology, because they've got a platform that works. They've kept it for a long time. What makes the V-Strom an incredibly good bike? I've not owned one, but I would happily own one and do an adventure on one. And that's kind of what I've got to say, because I've not ridden one. I couldn't give my actual riding opinion on it. But I think they kept the V-Strom the way the V-Stroms are for a long time for a reason, because they are good. So that's my thoughts on it, really. But I'll be interested to see where they go, because I think they've turned a big leap with their new V-Stroms, and hopefully they'll keep leaping forwards and leaping forwards. I think with Suzuki, they're a great brand. I want to see them go further and bring out a few bikes that are pioneering, is what I'm trying to say. But I'd buy a V-Strom, because I do think they're good bikes. Thanks for keeping us entertained for the last 2 hours. I reckon T-Pop will happen. Yeah, I do. I hope so. I'd love to be on his podcast. It would be an honour, basically. Right, what's this one? Just had to say the random field blue cheese stick drone fest to the French national anthem was YouTube gold. Well, from what I can understand, apparently that's what all French people do before eating blue cheese. I didn't have the red wine, but I did have red wine actually, but I didn't drink it because I was having to ride the bike, and I promised I would give it, obviously, as a present. But as far as I know, as far as I reckon, and now I've seen a lot of Frank Spencer, a lot of Mr. Bean, a lot of Basil Fawlty, and I reckon, from all my experience of watching them going and doing things and all their crazy adventures, it's nothing to do with France. I don't know why I've been saying that, but I think that's what French people do. They warm their blue cheese up on their pannier, they waffle their stick around, they add the blue cheese, and they eat it. And to be fair, It was incredible. What a taste that was. And I like blue cheese, but that was like, oh, perfect. Right. All right, where are we up to? What do I think about the new DAX? I think it's cool, to be honest with you. I think it's really, really cool. I think I'd love to have a go on a DAX. I think if I'm right, and I might be wrong with this, I think the wheels are a little bit smaller than the Monkey. I think it'll make it quite an interesting ride because I think the Monkeys are quite interesting with the smaller wheels as it is. But I think the DAX looks really cool. I'd love a go on it, to be fair. It's the same as, I'm going to get this wrong now because I've had a few drinks and people have bought me quite a few shots. The CT, the Hunter Cub, the CT125. I'd love a go on one of them. And I said that when they first came out, right in the beginning, I was one of those people going like, Honda, you bringing it? And even Honda said that it's coming to the UK, and it never did. And I'm like going, you said it was coming, you told me it was coming, and I would have bought one of them. The reason why I've not bought the DAX, because that's obviously looking a really cool bike, is because literally I can't afford to. If I could afford to, I'd buy it. So I do like the new DAX. I'd like a DAX. I'd like a CT125 Hunter Curb. I know that obviously you can get them ported, and people have done that. There is a potential there, but I'd love to get, imagine all three lined up together as a review video, all brand new or virtually new. That would make an incredible episode to compare all three together. Which one's best out of all three? That would be good to know. But unfortunately, I've only got the Monkey. Where are we up to? So, not a question. I just want to say thank you, Alan, and Helmet Channel. Without this, there would be no work channel. Oh, cheers, dude. I appreciate that. I do really, really appreciate that. And you've got a good channel, dude. Nothing to do with me. Honestly, you are your own person, and you've done some incredible stuff yourself, and your channel is going to thrive. Just keep doing what you're doing. Get the blue one or the Monkey, the new one. So the new colours, the yellow doesn't do it for me because it's like they've lost something with that. So yeah, maybe the blue or the red, because the new colour schemes aren't just, I don't know, I think they've kind of got it wrong a little bit, if that makes sense. We're talking about the new Monkey bikes, by the way. What we're up to? Are we... Right, more pertinent question. I'm trying to scroll through people talking, what's cool, keep going. Right. Question. Did you watch Million Bogan on his monkey bike ride with Perry, and what did you think about it as your monkey bike? Has your monkey bike got a dry cam fitted? No, I don't think it's got a dry cam fitted. It's just a standard engine. $1 Million Bogan, interestingly enough, and I might get this massively, massively wrong, I did a charity trip on my Honda monkey bike. So I've known about $1 Million Bogan because he did one. And if I've got it right, I got my monkey bike and I did my charity trip, then he did his charity trip at the same time. And I was quite gutted because he's a lot bigger than I am. I don't know if he was bigger than I am at the time or not. Anyway, either way, and he made that, and he did a charity trip on his that made mine look like like this big at the time. And I had this bike ordered and it got it delivered and everything. I was like, it's going to be good. But to be fair, I did watch it, and again, hats off to him. The guy obviously puts in an incredible amount of effort into his channel, and he's clearly a fantastic watch. And he's a, what's the way of putting it, with a lot of the big guys, because he is one of the biggest out there, I think, now. I think him, Teapot One, Richie Vida. I don't particularly watch Yami Noob so much. I watch a couple of his bits, but they're all people, like, when you do this, you realise how much time and effort and hard work go into it, and what they've achieved is massively impressive. But yeah, I think I like $1 Million Bogan. I know he's just recently done a where was it? Was it South of America? He's recently done something. I've not watched all of them, if I'm honest, but the ones I have watched, I think are really, really good. I struggle more and more to watch stuff, if that makes sense, than I'd like to watch. But he's really good. I think Teapot One has, I think his latest thing was a clan meeting, was it, in Scotland? I caught one of his episodes I thought was really good. But I tend to, the problem with YouTube when you're doing it all the time, I tend to struggle to watch other YouTubers. What's probably bad to say, because I'm concentrating on mine, and whatever I do, a lot of the time, everyone says you've done this like another YouTuber. So I try my best not to watch too many of them, because if anyone ever says anything to me, I'm like, well, that's me. I make my YouTube content the way I make it, not like somebody else's. So I don't tend to watch as much as I used to. What's probably sad. I should probably watch more. But I did see some of his stuff when doing the monkey bike, going back to the question, and it was really, really cool. And to be fair, it was a lot better than the charity trip that I did, because I thought I was being really badass riding from where I live to Wales at the time on a 125, and I thought that was a big deal. And I'm pretty sure he did something like across Australia, and it was incredible. So yeah, hands down to the bloke. My CT comes on Friday. Let's make this happen. Dude, if we can get your CT125 at Dax. The problem is my monkey bike, well, next will be cross Spain to Portugal. Can you bring your CT125 to somewhere abroad, and can you get someone on a Dax to bring theirs as well? And we can make that happen. Hot country, amazing light for film work. Me, you, someone else. Ideally, someone else who's a YouTuber on a Dax. All together. Could be YouTube gold. One last one, I promise. Thank you. I don't know which one. I've got all of them. I've got a load. You can't seem to hear. There's loads of them. I'm going to go for blue. It reminds me of being a kid and popsicle thing. I do feel a bit ropey, to be fair. Yakida. How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, so no wonder I'm speaking absolute rubbish. Trying to explain what I'm trying to say about other YouTubers, and I've got to be so careful, because I have peed off a fair few in my time. I've even called one person that I didn't mean to name. I think I said this in the last one, by another guy that was a complete douchebag. So I changed his name, but then somebody was watching me. Again, it's quite a big-ish YouTuber that stopped watching me and commenting, because I think he thought I was talking to him. It was quite bad anyway. Never mind. Would love a hunter curb. Yeah, me too. Why are they not here? Like, why are we not getting them? Because I'd buy one. Literally, I'd go and buy. If they'll come out tomorrow, like it's $4,000. Hopefully, I'd be like, do you know what? I'll find $4,000. No, I haven't got $4,000, but you know what I mean. You'd find it. You'd have to get one. What's this one? Get yourself up north on your Harley before you sell it. We need to do a Harley ride together. Oh, dude, we do, and I'd love to. And I'm not saying I won't get another Harley. It's got a day left up for auction. If it sells and the person turns up, and hopefully, I would love if somebody bought my Harley that watches the channel and then wants to keep it, and then ideally, like any of the bikes I've ever sold, comes back and does some stuff on the channel, lets me ride it again. I'd love it. I don't want to sell it. I generally don't want to sell it, but I need to basically fund this adventure, and it's what I've got to do for now, and it's what I've got to do. Honestly, I want to keep it. I want to be that bike that I put in the back. It's a choke, Harley Davidson. I mean, it's a car basically. I can pull the choke and send a few little twists at the front, and you fire it up, and the sound and the popping and the banging when it gets warm. The character is extremely special. So no, I don't. I think it's an awesome bike. I just need to be able to put the funds together for this world trip, and I also need something that's going to be a workhorse. And one thing I experienced with the Harley, I still love it, but I think doing some big miles on it, I found a little bit uncomfortable. And I just think, do you know what? It's something that I'm going to have to sell, and I have to face it. That I have to have a workhorse. Because my eyes still look quite bad. I thought they were looking better. Right, what I'm going to do, because there's a few more questions, give people some more time for questions, any more super chats they want to do. I'm going to have to, I think I have to need a wee break. There's currently 2 questions left. So if anyone has anything else to ask, please get them in, because I am going to end this soon. We're nearly 2 hours going, and I have to call it a night. And I'll explain a couple more bits about what's coming next. I just need a toilet break because I am desperate, and my beer's nearly out, so I need to top that up as well. So enjoy this sound and tell me if it makes you go for a wee. I'm going back to comments. I just thought of another YouTuber. While I'm going for a wee, what's going to sound really bad, okay? But hang on. Oh, nice bit. I don't know why I thought this person when I went for a wee, but I'll say more afterwards. But try this one. Hey kids! Right, I'm just going to leave that there. Hey kids! It winds the poop out of me, so I struggle to watch them. Let's see if you can guess who that is. Again, massive respect to them because they're huge and they've obviously put a lot of work into it. Love the chat, keep it up. Good work. You're miles better than $1 million Bogan. I'm not. The guy's more of a legend than I am, but I do massively appreciate that. There's a reason why he's as big as he is because he puts in an incredible amount of effort, time. So massive respect. He's better. He's better. They all are, to be fair. I am just me. I'm the plonker, the 11 out of 10 plonker, but I'm happy with that. Right, where are we at? Question. I'm going to burp again from the beer, so I'm going to sip some more and probably burp some more. Once I get the CB built, that's what the work's building on his channel. He's building, I think you're building another scrambler, if I've got that right. You've got the Triumph scrambler that obviously is your pride and joy. Now you're building one to put through hell. Have I got that right or wrong? Can we do a you meet the worst people on Honda video with Biker Buddy? Oh, the 300s. Again, the problem with that is for me is I don't have my Honda in this country. So are you guys going to be willing to ride potentially, well, I could just be somewhere, say Alicante, what the Biker Buddy will quite like because I believe his dad lives there. Coming to Alicante, work's coming to Alicante. Imagine the ride and the adventure you'd have coming down there, and we'll make something happen. We'll make some kind of crazy thing happen in Alicante. The 3 Hondas together. We can meet on a cliff. If there's a cliff in Alicante, I don't know, or we can get drunk at a bar. One way or other, that would be good. Right, here we go. Question: what's the one bike you wish you had never owned? Oh, that's difficult. I don't know. Have I got one bike I wish I'd never owned? No. Do you know what? That's yes. Do you know what? But then I'm going to go back and revisit this. Really weird because I'd watched Charlie and Ewan on the long way around. Like I'm sure we all did. Obviously, I bought that GS 2005. That was their second one, wasn't it? Is that long way up, long way down, or long way around? Whichever one it was, with the not the first GS, not the 1150, obviously the 1200. I was like everyone else, and then 2005 I went. Do you know what? I'm going to sell. I had a VFR that was perfect for what I wanted at the time, and I was just coming off of sports bikes and all this stuff. Or did I have that and then buy the sports bike? I don't know which way around it was now because I've had some drinks. Anyway, either way, I come from a sports bike kind of background, and I decided after watching that, I'm going to buy a GS and I'm going to ride, amazing miles and go touring and do everything else. And I bought the GS 1200, and I'll never forget it. When I went to actually go and buy it off this guy, this big bloke, big bold bloke, thought he was well hard, and I walked up and money in hand, everything else, all keen. I mint this bike was absolutely mint. I think it was 4.5 or 5 grand, and at the time that felt like, but it still is a lot of money. But I wanted it. I really wanted it. And what he did was, and I hate when people do this, bikes off the centre stand, and he's just holding it with one hand, and he just literally gives me the bike with one hand to pass it to me. And I'm like, I was going, bloody hell, this is heavy. And I think he thought I was going to cock my leg over by holding it with one hand. And even today, that's not how I get on a bike anyway, because I don't get why you would. I mean, I could, but I think I have before. But unless it was like I couldn't put the side stand down for any reason, then I would do it because you've got to. But anyway, he kept saying, right, you're like this. And he looked at me like I was insane because he caught it. And he was like, ooh. Anyway, gave me his money, stood on the peg, got on the bike, put it up on the thing. Okay, this is good. Rode the bike home. I think it was only literally a few weeks of ownership. I was going to one of my favourite places that we all know is Rutland Water in Leicestershire. I've been there with Biker Buddy not that long ago. And I pulled into a lay-by to go for a wee. And I got off the bike, droodled off to the bush, hid behind a hedge, went for a wee. Sorry, used a public toilet in case I get in trouble. walked back from the hedge, public toilet, there's the hedge, and then I went to get back on the bike, and it's on its side stand, and it was a lean on the lay-by that I was in, and I couldn't lift the bike off of its side stand, and I struggled, really struggled. I had to put it on a centre stand, and I almost dropped it, and I did it, and I just went, do you know what? I knocked my confidence, and I sold it, and that's partly why I want to go back to a GS, because I know that I could conquer it, and that's the reason why. I think I might have told that story already, but that's the reason why I want to go back to GS, because everyone raves about how good they are, so I want to know how good they really are, and if I can beat that fear of having this massive machine. So there you go. Right, sip a bit, got a burp again. It's really disgusting now. Right, what are we up to? Can't be that many more left. Lord Allen. Lord Allen. I've gone from Lord Elmhead to Lord Allen. I'm actually a lad. I'm officially a lad that's a Scottish lord. So anybody in Scotland will love that, because I'm actually a lad of Scotland. And I'm officially titled as Lord Helmet Head. It's a long story. Of course, it's to do with a king called Arthur. And it's to do with, what was the woman called again? I can't remember. There was a really good story I was going to tell you. It was King Arthur and Maid Marian, and I got in trouble with Maid Marian, and King Arthur didn't like me and kicked me out. Now, hang on. That's in a book. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Is the seat on the monkey comfy? P.S. I'm glad Monkey Bite Millie mentioned you one day. Been watching you ever since. Oh, Millie. That's the name of the dog, isn't it? But yeah, that dude's awesome. When I met him, he was like humbled to meet me, but I was humbled to meet him. He's had a massive following and a really nice guy, and he is that nice. And he was like, "Oh, no, you're like, it's so nice to meet you." And it's like, no, it's nice to meet you. It was a really weird situation between. I think we were both like, oh, it sounds daft, but like starstruck with like how nice we were both being. It was like a nice off. He's such a lovely bloke, and obviously little Millie the dog is fantastic. So the Monkey Bike comfort seat, I think it's really comfortable, to be honest with you. I ride that bike and I do get like what I call numbum, and that's just to do with pressure. And I generally think if you could probably make it more comfortable, but there's a level within about 45 minutes, an hour of being sat on one position. And this is just in life, isn't it? If you sit on like a hard seat, sort of an hour, you go, actually, I want to move a little bit. I want to get up and I want to move around. And when you can't, you get that. So yeah, I think the seat is massively comfortable. If you don't own the monkey bike, give it a go. But I think you'll be impressed. It's really thick. Basically, that's all padding. So it's nice and soft. Is this someone else? Is that actually a question? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, TMF. You all got it. So, am I the only one? And I don't know. I believe he's called Andy. Am I the only one that's noticed? Hopefully this will now make better sense. When I said that people on YouTube are getting press bites less at the minute, and I had quite a lot of contacts going with quite a lot, and it's all gone quiet. And you see them all on Instagram with younger, sexier, prettier people. Have you noticed that even TMF seems to have less press bites than what he had last year and the year before, and now doing more adventures? And I think that's kind of what's happened to him as well. He obviously still gets them. He's a huge channel, but a lot less. What's a shame, because what he does, he's set up, love or hate him, he's got his format and it works, and he does a blinking good job at it. So hopefully he'll get his hands on some more as well. Right, where are we at? Right, I'm going to do this probably will be the last one, to be honest with you. Right, here we go. If you could be any animal, what would it be? For me, it would definitely be a dog. I know it would be a dog for you. So loved and pampered, and you can lick your own meat. I don't know why you'd want to lick your own wingle wangle, mate, because I want to lick my own. What animal would it be? To be fair, I want to be a monkey. I want to be a monkey in Gibraltar, because basically they go along, nick all everyone's food, nick their gold, nick all the good stuff, and bog off and laugh at you. I'm like, do you know what? I want to be a monkey in Gibraltar, because you're just having the time of your life. Yeah, I'd just go around getting drunk. I'd be nicking everyone's little bits of beers and shots. I'd go, and I'd just be absolutely hammered, literally sat there laughing my socks off as a monkey the entire time. So that, I think is there. I don't think there's any more questions to be had. We've been going for 2 hours and 9 minutes. I just want to say thank you to everybody that has supported me so much and throughout the adventures. PayPal payments, that literally blew me away. I wasn't expecting that. And even we've gone through 9 super chats, all these questions, all the people that have been sharing the videos. I just massively, massively appreciate it. Now, it's going to be, I don't necessarily know if there's going to be another video from now to when I leave. And obviously, like I said, I leave on the 30th of March. I will land at night, and I will probably do a bit of B-roll footage on the way there. And then obviously they'll record, the first episode should be going over a mountain in the Pyrenees and be next level. If anything develops in the meantime, if anything happens massive on the channel, of course, I'll make a video about it. But I'm so focused on the world trip. If the Harley sells, if I manage to pick a GS up or something changes on that aspect, obviously I'll tell you all about it. But pretty much at the minute, everything I'm doing is massively focused on this world trip and making it happen. And every single penny I've got is going into it. So this is what I said. Thanks everybody for all the support. Don't forget, on the side of Patreon and channel members, there is the Patreon trip. This will probably be, well, at least one of maybe 2 opportunities, but the next big opportunity in this country to hang out with us, that is going to be a whole day. You can come and join us at the night before at a campsite. It's all on the Patreon or channel members. It's all screenshots. It's being done by Hornet CB 2000 gallivanting, but we're going to go to Wales basically. We're going to do a whole day of riding. So we're going to tent somewhere at night. We can sleep over. You don't have to come to that. We're going to meet in the morning. We're going to ride across Wales. We're going to camp, enjoy some beers, have a laugh at the end. And then we're all going to go our separate ways. We get a whole day and basically a night if you want it. Hanging out with me and the sidekick, getting drunk, having a laugh, but most of all taking on some amazing roads by a very, very cool person that knows the area, who's a patron, who's looked after me for a long, long time. So please, if you haven't joined and you want to come and join me and support us doing it that way, please join that. But anyway, thank you so much. I can't wait for the next leg 2 of the World Adventure on Ashworth. I can't wait to get back to Ashworth. It's going to be incredible. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye because I'm just going to gush over everybody. Thanks for all the support, everybody. Take care, and I will see you in the next Helmet Head adventure. Bye-bye for now. Now I need to end broadcast. There it is. Bye.